Greetings, Storm Watchers. I'm Catherine, and I'd like to thank you for liking my page and watching my video. And if you haven't liked my page yet, please do so. It's Cloudy with a Chance of Scattered Thoughts, and there we'll be posting um, topics for the upcoming week and just asking you questions about what you think about a certain issue and so on. So today we're going to be talking about the difference between being a good kind of different and a bad kind of different. And the difference is when you're different in a good way, people notice it and it's a change for the better. But then there's different as in like a rebellious bad, which isn't always good. I think I was reading about this guy named Daniel, and him and his friends were taken by this king from another country, and the king, the way he did things was he would take, people away from their country, and he would let them practice what they believed, but he would take the most good-looking and the most popular, and he would teach them his ways so that they would practice them, and then people would practice what they practiced, and from inside he would change the culture until their culture had diminished and all that was left was his. And so, but with Daniel and his friends, they didn't kind of compromise what they believed for the sake of the king's luxuries. So what he did was he challenged the king to let him practice what he practiced and compare him with the other guys that were doing the same thing. And in the end, he turned out so much better than the other guys that the king noticed, and he took favor with Daniel and his friends because they didn't compromise, but they were so much better. And eventually the king wound up changing his ways and becoming the same as Daniel and his friends, which I think is awesome because it shows that when you stand your ground and you don't compromise and you believe what you believe, people notice, and it kind of sticks with them, and then when they know that you're nicer than other people, or you're stronger, or you believe a certain thing, they'll remember that, and sometimes, want to change because of it. And I think that's what's so important about our generation is ours gets so much publicity and is just looked on by everyone that we have this kind of reputation, but not a good reputation because of the things we do, and we try to be more rebellious than another generation, or we try to just keep up with fads when really all we gotta do is focus on what's important, and people will still look at our generation, but they'll be like, hey, they're making a difference and they're changing things. And like what Gandhi said is, you want to be the change that you want to see in the world. And so you got to step up there and be that person that stands up and does something. Like if you see someone hurting or hungry or thirsty, you want to offer your assistance towards them, not just wait around and wait for someone else to do it, because it may never do it, and that's your chance to do it. And so uh, just the first step of being successful is taking that first step and doing it, not saying I wish or I can or oh I don't know how. And so it really takes a good person to notice something, but it takes even a better person to turn around and change that bad thing and make it good. And so I think that's what we have to remember as young adults and even as teenagers is that you may see an issue, but unless you do something about it, it's not going to change. And sure, one person may not do something, but that one person can change another person and change another person. And before you know it, it's a whole group of people. And that's what makes a difference.